2015 was one of the greatest years in PlayStation history, and these 25 games proved exactly why the PS4 era was something special. Starting this list at number 1, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is one of the most celebrated RPGs ever made, and the clear standout of 2015. CD Projekt Red delivered a massive open world, filled with meaningful choices, stunning environments, and a main story that genuinely respects player intelligence. The quest writing alone puts most games to shame, with morally complex decisions and characters that feel real, rather than like NPCs waiting for instructions. Its world feels alive in a way that still holds up today. Taking the second spot, Bloodborne transformed the Souls-like formula into something faster, more aggressive, and deeply atmospheric. Set in the Gothic city of Yharnam, the game pushes you to attack rather than defend, punishing passivity and rewarding aggression. The lore is dense and strange in the best way, hidden in item descriptions and environmental storytelling. From Software built something singular here, and it remains one of the most unique PlayStation exclusives ever released on the platform. Arriving at number 3, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain is Hideo Kojima's most ambitious and mechanically rich entry in the series. The open-world design gives players enormous freedom in how they approach each mission, from silent infiltration to full-scale assault. Base building, companion systems, and online enemy adaptation add layers that most games do not attempt. Despite a second half that feels unfinished, the sheer quality of moment-to-moment gameplay makes one of 2015's finest releases. Rocket League lands at number 4 as one of the most surprising hits of the entire PS4 generation. The concept of rocket-powered cars playing soccer sounds absurd, but the execution is flawless. It is endlessly skill-based with a low barrier to entry and an incredibly high ceiling for mastery. Matches are short, intense, and endlessly replayable. What started as a modest release became a cultural phenomenon, and it is still played competitively at the highest level years later. Number 5 is Until Dawn, a PlayStation-exclusive horror game that nailed the interactive movie format better than almost anything before it. You control a group of teenagers in a cabin on a snowy mountain, and every choice you make can determine who lives and who dies. The butterfly effect system means your decisions carry real weight across all 8 playable characters. It blends teen slasher tropes with clever gameplay in a way that makes it genuinely hard to put down once started. At number 6, Fallout 4 brought Bethesda's post-apocalyptic RPG into the modern era, with a new voiced protagonist, a deep settlement building system, and a dense world packed with locations to discover. The Boston setting is well realized, and the faction system gives players multiple angles on the story's central conflict. While some longtime fans debated the changes to the RPG systems, as a pure exploration and survival experience, it delivered hundreds of hours of content from day one. Number 7 is Batman Arkham Knight, Rocksteady's final chapter in their acclaimed Batman trilogy, and one of the most visually impressive games of 2015. The Batmobile integration divides opinion, but Gotham itself is enormous and beautifully realized. The core combat system remained as satisfying as ever, and the story gave Bruce Wayne one of his most personal confrontations yet. For fans of the Arkham series, it was a fitting and ambitious send-off to a defining superhero game trilogy. Sliding into number 8, The Witcher 3 Hearts of Stone proved that expansion content could match and sometimes exceed the base game in quality. This standalone story introduces one of gaming's most memorable antagonists in Gaunter O'Dim, wrapping a dark deal with the devil narrative around some of the best quests in the entire Witcher experience. It is compact, focused, and extraordinarily well written, standing as a benchmark for what paid DLC should aspire to deliver. Life is Strange arrives at number 9 as one of the most emotionally affecting narrative games of the decade. Following photography student Max Caulfield as she discovers a time rewind ability, the game uses its episodic format to build deep character relationships and a story that hits genuinely hard by its final moments. The dialogue has its quirks, but the emotional core is undeniable. It launched a beloved franchise and showed that small-scale storytelling could compete with any blockbuster. At number 10, Mortal Kombat X brought NetherRealm's brutal fighting series roaring onto PS4 with a robust roster, excellent story mode, and the series' signature over-the-top fatalities turned up even further. The faction war system and online modes gave it strong longevity beyond the campaign, and the character variation system added real strategic depth to matches. It is one of the best fighting games of its generation, and a clear high point for the long-running franchise. Number 11 is Dying Light, a first-person zombie parkour game that surprised everyone with how well it blended fluid movement with tense survival gameplay. The day and night cycle fundamentally changes how you play, turning cautious exploration into frantic sprinting once darkness falls. The open world is packed with verticality, the crafting system is satisfying, and the movement mechanics feel genuinely great to execute. A very strong open world effort that carved out its own identity in a crowded genre. Coming in at number 12, Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection brought all 3 original Naughty Dog adventures to PS4 with rebuilt visuals and buttery smooth performance. For newcomers, it was the essential starting point for one of PlayStation's most beloved franchises, while returning players found the remaster treatment respectful and thorough. The adventure storytelling, sharp banter, and cinematic set pieces across all 3 games reminded everyone exactly why Naughty Dog became a household name. At number 13, Assassin's Creed Syndicate recovered the franchise's reputation after Unity's troubled launch by setting a compelling adventure in Victorian London with 2 playable protagonists. Jacob and Evie Fry each bring distinct playstyles, and the London setting gives the open world real character and visual variety. The gang mechanics add a layer of strategic territory control to the familiar formula, and the overall production is polished and confident in a way the series needed at that point. Number 14 is Just Cause 3, the loudest and most chaotic open-world game of 2015, and proud of every second of it. Rico Rodriguez returns with a grappling hook, wingsuit, and an island full of military infrastructure that exists purely to be destroyed. The physics-based destruction sandbox is endlessly entertaining, and liberation missions give structure to the mayhem. It is not trying to be anything other than pure, explosive fun, and it succeeds completely on those terms throughout. Arriving at number 15, SOMA is a science fiction horror game from Frictional Games that uses its underwater setting and body horror elements as a delivery mechanism for some of the most genuinely thought-provoking questions in any game of its era. It asks serious things about consciousness, identity, and what it means to be human, and it follows through on those ideas all the way to a conclusion that lingers long after the credits roll. A quiet masterpiece that demands to be experienced. Number 16 is Need for Speed, EA's reboot of the iconic racing franchise, set entirely in a neon-lit open world inspired by underground car culture. The full-motion video cutscenes blending real actors with in-game footage gave it a distinct personality, and the customization system offered serious depth for tuning enthusiasts. It was a bold reinvention that divided series veterans, but landed well as a stylish and distinct racing experience, with a genuine sense of cool attitude throughout. At number 17, Star Wars Battlefront arrived just ahead of The Force Awakens and delivered the most visually faithful Star Wars game ever made at that point. Battles across Hoth, Endor, and Tatooine looked and sounded precisely like the films, and the scale of multiplayer matches captured the chaotic energy of the movies brilliantly. Critics noted the lack of single-player depth, but as a multiplayer spectacle celebrating the Star Wars universe, it was hard to argue with the results. Number 18 is Rainbow Six Siege, Ubisoft's tactical shooter that launched modestly in 2015 and grew into one of the most successful competitive multiplayer games of the entire console generation. Its destructible environment system and operator abilities created a unique strategic depth that rewarded communication and planning over reflexes alone. Years of free content updates kept it continuously relevant, but the foundation built in 2015 was already showing something genuinely special in team-based gaming. Shovel Knight earns number 19 as one of the finest indie platformers ever made, and a game that proved retro-inspired design could reach the heights of the classics it drew from. The pixel art is gorgeous, the chiptune soundtrack is unforgettable, and the Night Order boss encounters are individually designed with real creativity and personality. The gameplay loop of digging for treasure and spending it on upgrades is simple, but deeply satisfying across every level of the game. At number 20, Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition arrived on consoles and brought with it one of the deepest and most rewarding tactical RPG experiences available on PS4. The turn-based combat uses environmental interactions brilliantly, with fire, water, electricity, and poison combining in ways that require real creative thinking. The co-op campaign lets two players tackle the entire adventure together, and the writing is sharp throughout. A landmark release for the genre on console platforms. Number 21 is Tales from the Borderlands, Telltale games at their creative peak, applying the episodic adventure format to Gearbox's irreverent shooter universe. The result is one of the funniest and most genuinely heartfelt games Telltale ever produced, with a cast of characters that develop real chemistry over its 5 episodes. The humor lands consistently, the action sequences are imaginative within the format's limitations, and the ending delivers emotional payoff in ways you do not expect from a Borderlands game. Coming in at number 22, Wolfenstein The Old Blood is the standalone prequel to The New Order and continues Machine Games' streak of producing excellent first-person shooter campaigns with actual personality and style. The Nazi occult setting adds a new dimension to the action, and the pipe-based traversal mechanics introduce creative stealth options alongside the expected gunplay. It is leaner than its predecessor, but no less confident, delivering a focused and highly entertaining shooter experience throughout. Number 23 is Ratchet and Clank, the PS4 reimagining of the original game, built to coincide with the animated film, and serving as both a remake and a retelling. The visuals are extraordinary, even by 2026 standards, and the weapon arsenal is as creative and ridiculous as the series has ever offered. Insomniac rebuilt the classic game design with modern sensibilities, resulting in something that works brilliantly for newcomers and longtime fans of the duo alike in equal measure. At number 24, Axiom Verge is a solo-developed Metroid-inspired masterpiece that arrived fully formed and immediately stood among the best games in the genre. The alien world of Sudra is dense and atmospheric. The weapon variety is enormous, and the glitch mechanic used to solve puzzles and reach hidden areas is brilliantly original. That one person built this entire experience makes it all the more remarkable, and it holds up as one of the finest examples of the Metroidvania format available. Closing out the list at number 25, Resident Evil HD Remaster brought the 2002 GameCube remake to PS4 and reminded everyone that survival horror at its most deliberate and tense has never been surpassed. The mansion layout, resource management, and enemy behavior all contribute to a sustained atmosphere of dread that modern entries rarely capture. The remaster treatment is clean and respectful, and as a piece of game design history made easily accessible on modern hardware, it remains essential.